Hello, I live.
Hey, it's Kristen here.
Hey everyone, Angel here.
Hey. Catch the switch on camera.
Why am I on camera?
I am not an age regression account. I participate in the community.
System check-in. Who is front? Wait now. I dino.
Faking dissociative identity disorder for this many years. You think people have the energy to fake something for years on end?
No, but seriously, if you were to open up TikTok and see that in the wild on your For You page, would you think it's satire? Be honest. Today we're going to be talking about someone with dissociative identity disorder who also just coincidentally is interested in this.
Mommy baby.
You're my baby?
Yes.
Okay, little one. It's time to eat now. Forever and always, baby. I love you.
Yes, this is about Skylar Shears. You don't know who that is? Oh. It's the Care Bear Collective on TikTok. When you look at their profile though, nothing on surface level looks super out of the ordinary. Some people have a TikTok and they happen to have dissociative identity disorder. Other people's TikTok completely revolves around educating about it. DID is a complex trauma disorder in which someone has two or more distinct identity states. And sometimes they are called alters. The Care Bear Collective would document switches and then introduce alters afterward, which is like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know, giving people education about what DID can look like. But then I dug deeper and I saw things. Cause suddenly it was like, is this necessarily as innocent as somebody just sharing their mental health journey? I mean, sure, they showed a lot of the more glamorized parts of DID and they didn't really talk about like the therapeutic process they're undergoing, but that's neither here nor there. The problem was when they started to blur little alters who are in the mindset of a child with play and adult products and having public communities full of age-regressed people. When you have DID, you're not going to agree with every single thing someone in the DID community says. But I'd argue that the community, more or less as a whole, is very much against using little alters in this way. They are literally in the mindset of a traumatized child. But before we get into it, if you enjoy losing your faith in humanity by watching TikToks, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.
Mommy baby.
You're my baby?
Yes. And
So who are the alters? Well, we have these, but not limited to Angel, Echo, Flare, Hayden, Noah, V, Dino, Haley, Jesse, Honey, Jay, etc. On this one thing they shared, it appears as though they have like 17 different alters, at least here. Each one of them might make their own videos. They have distinct personalities and likes and dislikes, kind of like your own character sheet. This is a little foreshadowing for later, but if you'll just let me reference this TikTok. Calling all systems, which is how some people with DID like to be referred to. I talk as if my audience doesn't already know this. This is for the 2% of people who don't already know. So I know almost every system has one or more littles in their systems. I was thinking of making a system pacifier shop for all ages specifically for DID systems. Would anyone be interested in that? Now I'm gonna let that marinate with you and we'll check in later. They also were like, would anyone want a Discord server for little age-regressed alters to talk to each other? Yeah, I don't think anything could possibly go wrong with that. So let's meet some of the alters, shall we? Gray 23 Demon. I am a new split alter of the system. I don't like humans. The thing is, Gray, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. Hayden 12 to 13, she, he. Middle. I'm a demon, but I'm harmless. I like passies, stuffies, coloring, and reading. What is a middle, you might ask? In the DID community, there's a consensus that it means like an older child named alter. I'm gonna need you to just ignore there for a second that a 12 to 13-year-old is wearing a pacifier. No, like actually, I think it can be just a self-soothing thing for some people. So I don't think it necessarily has to be like either an play thing or an age regression thing. Yeah, no, let's go with that, because the alternative option being that, you know, this is actually a for them, and then they're coincidentally, it's a coincidence that they're using it. Yeah, that's too disturbing to entertain. This is my thing with the introductions. It's like, okay, this is my one chance to make a first impression. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I just like introduce my, like, what are my hobbies? I know. I'm the stoner alter. 420 forever, man. Like, I don't know, when I started out my YouTube channel, I don't think my first video really went like, hey guys, it's Michelle, so just so you know, my hobbies include substances.
I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to become a wizard.
Although, to be fair, has anyone ever asked you what you do for fun or like for hobbies and your brain completely goes blank like NPC? Oh shoot, they realized I'm a person. Mind you, they do tag a lot of their videos hashtag DID little. I'm not, like, even when there's not a little fronting, like, I'm not sure the purpose of doing that. Like, if they were to hashtag their videos hashtag DID protector, hashtag DID person, whatever, and also DID little, like, I guess. Anyways, people off the bat were telling them this. Try and find them in the headspace. I've heard there's been an accidental data transfer between devices, so if you can't find them, it's okay. It's been happening. They're kidding. Like, are they kidding? I can't tell if they're kidding. Because if they're not, it's giving when people literally said you could system hop, as in trade alters like Pokemon cards.
Don't mess with me, I'm a big kid now and I'm very scary. That was a lie, I'm a 5-year-old now, where's my stuffy?
This is where things start getting fishy. So Dino is a documented little alter within the Care Bear collective. So whenever Dino makes a cameo on the TikTok, obviously Dino has very childlike voice, mannerisms, dances to children's songs, and of course the mandatory pacifier. And at first glance, it's like, okay, until you realize that 50% of their followers are literally people who are into play.
System check-in. Who is front? Wait now. I Dino.
I mean, other than the fact that you are literally, like, it's hard to explain it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just imagining, like, myself, if I was, like, extremely traumatized as a child, to the point where there is literally an age-regressed part of me or an alter, and for me to put it on the same page in which I know that people could realize that part, it's like, what? But the videos aren't like, I mean, subjectively super, super, super weird yet. But the more I scrolled, the more like unconfident I have become about this being an innocent mix-up. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I put my little alter on my play page. Because they started making TikToks that I don't know, you guys. I don't know, you guys. No, seriously, I don't know a lot about the play. But we got stuff like, did you have a bad day today? Would you like a stuffy? Which, okay, I mean, sometimes in really controlled spaces, people with littles will have like, I don't know, areas for them to be. Would you personally want your child alter to be scrolling on TikTok anyway to find this? I don't know, that's neither here nor there. But then you have these videos that just straight up mix play and age regression. In which case, if you for any reason have trusted your little alter with this fan page, yeah, maybe that was not the best choice. I'm a cute dino, puts on dino onesie. Me. Daddy, daddy, look. Daddy, you're a little dino, baby. Me. Rawr! Walks in like T-Rex. Daddy, you silly cute dino. Me. Hee. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize. It means I love you in dinosaur. Daddy, I love you too. So this video has a content warning for being a Like, hang on. I think I'm losing the plot because you're trying to tell me that you have a little alter named Dino, but you're just gonna coincidentally post content about someone being called a dino? Like, okay. Like, no, this is just an unbelievable coincidence. This is like that one story where those twins got separated at birth, and when they met in their 40s, they were like both named Steve with like identical mustaches and wives' names, and they both had like a golden retriever. Like, it's technically possible, but it's not looking good, Care Bear Collective.
Did you have a bad day today? Do you want a stuffy? Which one? Mr. Duck or Sir Rainbow? Sir Rainbow? Here you go. Okay. What about a passy? Do you like a passy?
I mean, like, it didn't even stop there, though, is the thing. Because the audios started getting more and more explicit. Like, would you lay with daddy to kiss it better? Daddy, I'm scared. Please come cuddle with me. Yeah. First of all, it's not like this page was private or 18 plus. It doesn't matter if you have DID or not. Literally any young person can stumble upon this. I completely understand this perspective, but so many people are like, I'm not responsible for parenting your kid. Like, no, you're not. You should be able to post what you want as long as it's within guidelines. But we should know of anyone. It's like, what about the neglected kids? What's this? TikTok's guidelines prohibit content that shows, promotes, or encourages or behavior, including BDSM or other content. So technically there should be penalties for posting stuff like that, but it's not like the algo is like hiring psychologists to go in there and decipher the difference between age regression and play. Maybe they should. Maybe they should, I don't know. Cause like the majority of TikTok audience, I believe are teenagers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we have one side, the DID community. And then what's this over here? The play community. It's like me. Imagine if I continued uploading the content I make right now, but I also started making gaming content. Chances are I would be getting some subscribers from gaming and some subscribers for YouTube drama commentary exposés. That would be like whatever. It would probably kill my channel. But the age and DID community have fought so hard in order to separate the two. Like just off the top of my head, people who experience age regression, it would be super, super cool if you could explain that to a loved one without them thinking like, oh, is that like the kink I saw online? It's basically stigmatizing the way that your brain was able to survive trauma. It's almost like this weird 2-for-1 situation too, because you could watch it from the play perspective and do whatever play people do, or you could watch it from the age regressed little perspective. So just imagine this. Let's make a Venn diagram. We have play and we have the DID community. Not a lot is in common there. Not a lot at all, if anything, actually. In the middle there would be people pretending as though they are the same thing. But don't worry, because Skylar addressed that criticism. Whether it actually answered anyone's question is like a different story.
I am not an age regression account. I participate in the community and have for the last 7 years. If you do not approve of that, then please unfollow me.
I don't know, dude. They had videos talking about how like they could still be a little while also having fantasies about other stuff that is not attached to it, and that's not weird. Because early in their account's lifetime, they were mostly speaking about DID specifically. They also uploaded like 5 alter introductions in one day. And then you suddenly realize that they have been an active participant in the play community going back like 7 years. So basically they were saying that, well, Dino is a 7-year-old alter who comes out in the body, not related to anything weird. So it's like, okay, Skylar, then which is it? Because depending on the weather that day, they had 2 completely different explanations. More types of content that Skylar made was stuff that could be catered to either community, like shopping hauls and Blue's Clues merch, dinosaur toys and, you know, rattles, bath colors and sippy cups and plus size onesies. Some child-like alters will like to wear just like comfy clothes or something. Although I'm not sure why. You guys let me know like why you would want to specifically wear like a onesie. Like the last time I was in a onesie, I don't even think I knew what a onesie was, so why would I care? So do you see what I'm saying? They went from like, we are an account with DID, and then like months later, now we are in a play account. But then things would get worse because Skylar started becoming an affiliate for different online shops, which I don't see why that's a problem. Oh, it was for dark fairy tale desires, which the name in itself kind of gives it away. Like there are legitimate sites in which you can go on to get things for like if you age regress and that stuff makes you feel more comfortable while you're age regressed. But like dark fairy tale desires to me is not screaming. It's not screaming like Build-A-Bear. Skylar promoted the store using their personal discount code, meaning that this is it. They're earning commission from just like affiliating something they're interested in. But no, like people clicked on that link. They did. It actually sold stuff that was marketed specifically towards like adult stuff. Play stuff, including leashes and collars, custom pacifiers, you name it, man. And then like clockwork, after they became an affiliate for the store, now they're talking about DID again?
Wait.
So now you can probably guess where this is going. They connected it to their dino altar and started using it during their altar videos. So you've got this DID account promoting a play boutique, and then you're taking products from that boutique and incorporating them into videos about a child altar.
Small boy, baby, tiny boy, does not know anything. Does not even know ABCs, just knows belittle and nap. So pure.
That's where it's like, I just don't feel comfortable blending these worlds anymore. Like, it never was okay, but come on, dude. Now we're blending the same characters and like the same props, literally the same aesthetics across both.
All right, put a finger down, Systems Names Edition. If I say your name or one of your headmates' names, put a finger down. Put a finger down if you have a Natalie. Now put another finger down if they're a persecutor. Put a finger down if you have a Jack. Put a finger down if you have a Zach. Put a finger down if you have a Kyle. Put a finger down if you have a Nova. And put another finger down if your Nova is a protector.
Lost inside my mind.
How do you not see that it's a problem that people can't tell where one ends and the other begins? Like, no, seriously. So if you're educated on this subject, okay, let's imagine ourselves as like a person who's just the average person scrolling TikTok. And then you find these videos where there's nothing really separating mental health content from the promotion of products sold at an adult store. Most people on TikTok are not experts on DID or age regression or play. Like, they will more than likely just blend them in their head. And during all this, they're still posting videos like this.
Daddy, my tummy hurts. Can you kiss it better for me? Daddy, can you cuddle with me? I don't feel well. Please hold me. I miss you.
Let's stop for a moment. Who do you think had it worse in terms of being exposed to things you shouldn't have as a kid on the internet? Kids who were born in the 2000s or the 2010s? Leave your comments below. They were both awful. I mean, if that's not enough, they're also posting stuff like this. Jealous daddy. Little. Like, I'm having a friend sleep over tonight. Daddy, frantic texting. Who are they? Do they know about me? Do they know you're taken? They won't take you from me, right? You're mine and I love you, kitten. Little. Daddy, my friend has a daddy too. Daddy, oh, carry on. I'm gonna do us all the honor of not reading this whole thing. Daddy says, you are my baby boy no matter what you look like. You're always a boy in my eyes. I love you, Prince. Oh, because like, This is a trans little. Okay, so here are the things I don't have an issue with. Getting gender-affirming comments from your partner. Okay, so just imagine like you have a very special interest in like feet. But it's a coincidence, it's not related at all, that you also made an entire YouTube channel around like trying on shoes or something. It's like, come on, dude. No, I mean, it could like theoretically be a coincidence. Like, the foot thing is one thing, depending on the situation. I'm not gonna like internet arrest you for that. But I'd argue that this whole Care Bear, this Care Bear situation, yeah, this is a lot more serious than the foot example. Okay, so I did us the justice and I looked it up, and the age in which a lot of young kids will stop wearing pacifiers is age 3. And so I naturally concluded at the time that the alter must be this age, which is like, can a 3-year-old or a 3-year-old alter hold up a phone? I mean, yeah. Could they potentially record a TikTok and use the pacifier in the TikTok whilst finding a audio for being pro-LGBT? Oh, yeah. I mean, having an adult body doesn't make you lose the ability to operate the phone. But I'm not even gonna question, like, if it's physically possible. I'm also just wondering if turning these moments into public content is like the healthiest way to treat your system and also the disorder. Like, does this give people an accurate understanding of what DID typically looks like? If this is the only video someone ever sees about DID, is this how you'd like them to walk away thinking the disorder is like? And then another controversy is emerging because after all these videos that you just saw, they were never formally diagnosed with DID. You know, after months of posting alter introductions and switching videos, literally giving people an example of like, hey, this is what DID looks like.
I might be undiagnosed, but that does not mean I am not in the process of being diagnosed. Just because I'm not officially diagnosed doesn't mean I'm not going through all the treatments and all the tests and all that kind of stuff. I am working my way towards it. So honestly, you guys have no place to say anything, because you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know the process I'm going through. So if you don't know anything, then don't say anything. Thank you.
And in the video, they're like, I mean, I'm undiagnosed, but like, that doesn't mean I'm not in the process of a diagnosis. Which I'll give them that, because a diagnosis for DID can take a really long time. Also, I believe it's very much plausible for you and your therapist to kind of like you're being treated for DID despite not really having a formal diagnosis yet or at all. But it's also just like, what do you mean you don't know anything? I don't know a lot of stuff, but I do know this. You were not formally diagnosed while posting these videos. So it's like, you're in the process of being diagnosed, but what if they come out of it saying like, you have like, I don't know, depersonalization, derealization disorder or something to that effect, and it's like, so that was my bad. DID is among the most stigmatized disorders, and personally, I wouldn't want to contribute to stigma of my own disorder, but I digress, neither here nor there. Naturally, there was a sequel.
Trying for a very long time. Nobody listens. You're still valid. You still matter. No matter how many people say otherwise. No matter what other people think. You're valid. You are you for a reason, and nobody can say, oh, since you're not diagnosed, this just goes away. It doesn't. Nothing just goes away, even if you're undiagnosed. It could take years to be diagnosed, or you might not even get diagnosed.
I mean, yeah, like, to be fair, getting diagnosed with DID isn't as simple as, like, going to urgent care and getting diagnosed with the flu or something. It can take years sometimes, and it can be also, depending on where you live, expensive. Some specialists are hard to find, and of course, you're always gonna find that clinician who doesn't believe DID exists. Also, just misdiagnosis. I feel like even really, really common disorders are misdiagnosed. diagnosed. For example, we have people being diagnosed with ADHD when in reality what they're experiencing is PTSD, and it presents, you know what I mean, like ADHD? DID, please. Doctors have to go through like every other disorder before finally entertaining it. So I'm not gonna say they're fake. Also though, educating about a disorder when you're still not like 100% sure that you even have it is like, I don't know if I agree with that, but anyway, that's not my argument to make. And the only reason Skylar even admitted that they were never diagnosed is because people were pressing them about it. Like, it doesn't mean your experiences are fake, but it's also just like, it's nice to have a little disclaimer. Some people even thought that it was deceptive that they didn't originally tell people that they weren't diagnosed. Which is kind of fair. It's like, imagine if you had a TikTok completely dedicated to showing people what it's like living with like OCD. And you're pretty sure you have it, you display a lot of symptoms, but you don't know. You don't know. And then you go to the doctor and it turns out you don't have it. So when Skylar came out about it after being pressed, it felt kind of just like, okay, do I have to explain this? From there, the internet officially entered detective mode. Once everyone knew that there actually wasn't a confirmed diagnosis, they went back and looked at the old videos with a new lens. And people started scrutinizing the switches themselves.
And trying to catch the switch on camera. Just to kind of see what happens, I guess. So I have put on Baby Shark Adventures on Netflix. And I have his passy. He just came.
Okay, so generally someone with DID will switch if there is a trigger. And there is such thing as a positive trigger. But, a lot of people just are not vibing with switching specifically for like science to show people on TikTok or like in general, because first of all, switching for everyone is not just like this super easy thing. A lot of the time it has things like dissociation, of course, headaches, blood pressure changes. Like if you've ever experienced dissociation, even to a small extent, I'm sure you understand like, ugh. Like, I'm good. I really don't want to feel that unless, like, I have to.
Why am I on camera? I thought I was just watching Baby Shark.
I don't know, dude. Sometimes after I'm done filming, I'll accidentally keep my mic or my camera rolling. And more commonly, my response is just to like be like, oh, shit, and turn the camera off. Not be like, oh, look at that, I'm recording. Like, I guess I could see someone wanting to switch to a different altar, maybe a child altar, if like they're super stressed and they know that this altar might like calm down the body or something. But like, I don't like this video. Like the little kid altar looks at the camera and they're like, why am I being recorded? Now, obviously, this is a hard thing because I can't say that this is just exaggerated, and switches simply don't look like this. Because, like, I don't know, they can. Because not every two people with DID is the same. It's, like, so diverse. Some people with DID will have more covert switches because, like, when the trauma had been occurring, if they had a overt switch, it could have had like consequences, or it was just learned naturally throughout the years. It's basically whatever helped you adapt to survive. Sometimes coming across as normal is what was safest. If someone has more predominantly overt switches, it could be so that hiding switches was less like central to survival. This could happen. Like, I'm not denying that this type of switch exists. In fact, like with YouTubers with DID, I've seen this type of switch. But let's just compare it to how clinicians clinicians and the majority of people with DID might describe switches, it can feel sudden and disorienting, like exhausting and confusing, and depending on your communication level, it might not be successful. So unless you've been in therapy for quite a while, it's not really something you can conveniently start once you like hit record and like the lighting is chilling and good. And judging by the comments, I was not the only one thinking that. You don't have alters, you have characters. I'm already pissed that Wendy's f***ed up my order, then this came up. As a therapist, I can tell you, it's more likely to see someone faking DID than an actual genuine case of DID. It's extremely rare, and some people like to fake it, sadly. And then of course, we do have to touch on super quick the timing. Cause like, let me know with you guys, have you heard of DID before Split? Okay, Split came out in 2016, literally. I mean, other than like really quick through like a DSM, but I feel like it is completely exploded like on YouTube and on the internet in like 2019, 2020. What's this? COVID, we're all sitting at home and we have nothing to do. So I'm sure people were faking it during this time. So you could say that like, no, this is a good thing though, because we need more representation for conditions on the internet, more awareness. But it's also just hard to deny that people would fake something, especially like social contagion and all that. Because the way that DID was presented in a lot of these most famous like TikToks and clips was like awe-inspiring. It's like you can't look away. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a different person all of a sudden. It even got to the point where Dr. Matthew Robinson from the McLean Hospital made an entire presentation about it. Munchausen by internet. Yeah, a lot of people did vote him out. I think that the DID community, or like the DID community, because a lot of people did agree with him, voted him out. They were like, they canceled him. They made a petition to get his license revoked. But if you weren't around in 2020, what were you doing? Because we couldn't go outside. But if you found that side of TikTok, you'd find alter introduction, switch compilation, meet the alters videos. I will say a lot of people with DID were very offended by this trend, because it seems to me as though literally 100% of the people who get famous on TikTok, when they specifically talk about DID, are presenting overtly. So I understand the frustration from the covertly presenting people, where they're just like, I mean, I don't look like that, and in fact, now I am afraid to tell my friends and family that I have DID because I'm afraid they're gonna Google it and see the demon alters. No hate to demon alters, it's just that DID, we know, DID is more than that. They also made this video.
Little space check-in. Use this sound to find other littles.
Actually buy, like, if this is about age play, okay, like, I mean, that is against community guidelines, I think, but I'm not freaking the CEO of TikTok. But if it is for little alters specifically, this is gonna be a problem, because, and I'm sorry to be like a negative Nancy, but like a lot of people are super protective of their littles. Cause like, okay, let's say your little alter does want to like talk to this creator, the Care Bear Collective, or they just want to talk to anybody online who also has littles, because it's like, oh, this is someone like me. The internet is also full of lots of weirdos. If somebody openly presents themselves as being in a childlike mindset, there's always going to be that risk that the wrong person can see it. No matter your thoughts on even dissociated said this.
Children, as I'm sure you all know, are very easily frightened, very easily persuaded, very trusting, and very easily manipulated. Children who have been abused are likely to slip back into that place of fear and acceptance and surrender.
Someone could message them pretending to be another little, or pretending to be a safe adult, and they're like, what's your favorite toy? Oh, you like Lego? Well, I have lots of Lego. What's your address? I'm gonna send you the Lego.
Anybody could find us on the internet. We don't share their names because even a name can be powerful. If somebody spoke to a child on the internet and said, I know your name, I know where you live, you have to do this. Even things like their favorite color, their favorite animal, a person could convince a child that they know everything about them.
Is that the most likely outcome? I mean, no. I mean, maybe. But, like, you really don't want to be taking that gamble in the first place. For example, we've got Prince Charming here. Can somebody explain why, like, Prince is being brought into this? Because this is the second time we're talking about that. Like, I knew about the daddy thing, but roses are red, the sky is blue. Diapers are great when needing the loo. So if you'll bring your attention and awareness over to the fact that Skylar liked it. They liked that comment. Yay, a DID system is following me. I'm trying to learn more about systems. And like, okay, devil's advocate? Maybe there's another explanation. But with everything we've seen, like we got this adult roleplay shop, we got the passy, the binky, these blurred lines, like, you know that those will add to concerns. That doesn't clear anything up for us. Now, for those of you who are still trying to chalk this up to somebody being a little bit cringy and misunderstood, wait. Because our community in question will now be transferred to a private space. And yeah, that's where a lot of people were like, hey, this is gonna be the line for me. Throughout their time on TikTok, Skylar promoted a lot of different Discord servers and group chats. They advertised them as a safe place for people with DID. On paper, it's like, love it, love it. I cannot imagine living with a like DID, for example, because there's certain things I'm sure that only someone with DID can like understand, that, you know, that you can talk to someone else with DID about. So is that what happened here? Was this just a really wholesome, like valuable little, no?
Hey everyone, Angel here. Just wanted to know who wants to join a system group chat. Drop it in the comments or private message if you want to join a group chat for all systems. Bye guys.
Yes! This sounds perfectly innocent, but we'll later see that this actually right here became the beginning of the snowball of one of their biggest controversies. So the part that's really just jumping out to me is the lack of age requirements. Like, also we had a lot of Discords that Skylar promoted in which the minimum age is 13. But in a lot of cases, there was just no meaningful age verification anyway, and I can't decide which is worse, not having one at all or not letting anyone under 13 in. Because like the 13 one is weird. It's like, why? Like, why? Because that means you thought about it. And people might look at it and they're like, oh no, that's kind of weird. But then you have to stop and think about it. Because you gotta remember who we're talking about here. This is a content creator whose account already revolves around child alters and pacifiers, baby voices, and products that are advertised from adult role-playing stores. And unbelievably blurred like, I don't think the boundaries existed, I'm gonna be honest. There was no boundaries between these worlds. And then the creator in question opens up the community and they're like, all right, how old are you? Oh, you turned 13 yesterday? Welcome in. That does not fill me with confidence. In fact, this is extremely disturbing. And you might be thinking like, come on, Michelle, is this like your weird hypothetical concerns? No, not this time, because you can see that minors were engaging with the account. There are literally commenters who are identifying as children. And it's like, was this a one-time thing? Like, obviously that still wouldn't make it okay, but like, no. Skylar advertised these group spaces from anywhere around 20 to 30 different times on their TikTok, with at least one invite pinned at the top of their profile, which is the first thing someone's gonna see if they click on it after watching your video about DID. You might even be able to have more empathy. Although, I don't know, if this was like a Minecraft YouTuber or someone who posts like, I don't know, Roblox, not Roblox, because we've seen what happens there. But this is someone who for some time now has been mixing little alters with play. If anyone just needed me to spell it out for you, imagine a little alter is on TikTok. You are in an age-regressed mindset. You want to join this Discord group? Oh my gosh, like finally, I'm going to meet someone like me. And then a man messages you claiming to also be a little. And after that, I'm going to let your imagination run wild. And it's like, we can talk about them like having glamorized looking DID until the cows come home. But this is like a problem. Until now, I'm sure you guys just assumed that Skylar like made their entire income on TikTok, but you would be wrong. They worked at Walmart. They were a greeter and a cleaner, which is, I think, the most normal thing I've said in this video. Bills need to be paid, lock in. You couldn't possibly make this inappropriate.
Within Walmart, we work as a people greeter and a cleaner in Walmart. So, we're in the store all around, every time, every day. So, having littles within the system, every time we go past any of the toy section or anything that has any stuff, I guess, they're just like, ooh, look at that, what's that? So, we come home with at least 1 to 2 items.
No, I mean, they would upload videos after shifts, during shifts, hell. Talking about what it's like living with DID while working at Walmart. They showed off this Bluey merch or something because, of course, Dino wanted it. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how this financially goes down because at this point, you're just spending 25% of your income on, what's this, a Blue's Clues merch? A giant dog bed? A dinosaur toy. Okay, I mean, the dinosaur toy, like, I'll give them that. I mean, at this time, they were just continuing to make content despite anyone, like, disagreeing with their decisions in the past or current ones. Like, they were already controversial with their public dark fairy tale desires thing. And of course, the Discord memberships, which we must never forget. Also, I don't know where else to put this in the video, but what the hell is this? This 4-year-old alter introduction where she looking like she's on toddlers and tiaras? One of the most famous TikToks they ever uploaded was a repost of a creator who said this.
You dress up as your alters and take TikToks? That's stigmatizing DID. DID is a trend now because of social media, and y'all are just spreading the stigma. You can't change my mind.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a right and wrong here. I mean, it depends, right? Like, let's say one alter likes wearing black and, you know, they just happen to already own black clothes. It's like, oh no, it's not super controversial to throw on the black clothes. But the idea that once someone switches, they're just gonna, they have to switch their clothes and I have to do my makeup and change my hair. It is a little bit of like a misleading, or at least not the full picture of what DID usually looks like. It's different for everyone, but I have heard from people who are basically like, they switch in midday and they're like, okay, I'm wearing this, love it, whatever. I mean, is it the person with DID's responsibility? Because what if genuinely, like, this is someone's only exposure to the disorder? I mean, this whole rise of DID content online has kind of like started to coincide with clinicians discussing like confusion and misinformation and the influence that these online communities can have on how people understand and identify dissociative symptoms. Because unfortunately, I know the algorithm's goal is not to educate you, it is to get your money, your watch time, and your ad rev. So a 10-second long video of someone dramatically switching into a different alter definitely will get more views than someone being like, hey guys, so today my symptoms were mostly internal. In fact, I was the only one fronting, and I went to therapy today, so in DID treatment, whatever your goal is in therapy will generally include like having better cooperation and communication between alternative states. And the result of that might be reduced dissociation. So some people have debated whether it is appropriate to encourage this greater separation by being like, no, we are separate. Like, I've even seen people call alters people. They're like, the people in my head. No, they're not they're a person. What I'm trying to say is alters are one person with DID. Parts are dissociative self-states within one person. It can be hard for some people with DID to come to terms with the fact that like my alters are part of me, because there is that level of dissociation from them. So some people actually argue that trying to increase the differences, increase the barriers, it can be harmful. It's nuanced, but it's like if you're trying to separate yourself from an alter, if you're repeatedly encouraging this like dramatic switching, or just building like an identity or like a social life that is as separate as the parts can be. Some clinicians think that this can interfere with treatment, but if your professional says otherwise, love it. But in modern DID treatments, such as approaches informed by the International Society for the Study of Trauma and Dissociation, the overall goal is generally to reduce the impairment caused by dissociation and improve cooperation between parts, rather than encouraging separation between them. And then the comments are saying stuff like this: wow, it's totally stigmatizing and not making alters feel comfortable and like themselves. Sarcastic. Do they not understand that it makes the alters happy? They get to express themselves. Like, what? Can it make alters happier to dress like themselves? Absolutely. That's the nuance, is like letting systems choose their like different music that they like, different clothes, can actually make them feel acknowledged, like I am real, and that can actually improve communication. So as you can see, it is not a universal rule. DID does not come with a user manual. Everyone with DID will function differently. Even different trauma histories and your own personality can determine how your DID presents. And of course, different therapists might have different approaches to treatment. So since the disorder is so diverse, whenever anyone in the comments was just like, this is what all system needs, my brain is just like, according to who? Okay, so I love not generalizing and saying that like this is the only way a disorder can be presented. But then, would you explain this to me?
Calling all systems. Drop who's fronting right now in the comments. I am Noah.
Now, obviously, if someone with DID or like OSDD sees this and they're just like, that's kind of personal, I don't want to answer that, they can just keep scrolling. My issue is hypocrite. I'm gonna be a hypocrite too. We're all hypocrites today. Let's think about the impression that this kind of content can leave on everyone else. I just find it so interesting because it's like, not everyone with DID will always know who's fronting. In fact, a lot of people spend years in therapy and they're still not able to like definitively say the difference between, oh, I am this alter right now. It is definitely a blessing how quickly medical advancements are occurring. But these movie style switches and somebody like having the very classic one personality and then dissociate for exactly 13 and a half seconds, and now you come out of the dissociation completely not dissociated and you're like, hey, it's me, completely different alter. That can happen. But what is also common is a lot like less clean than that. But you wouldn't know that because the only version of DID you've seen on your FYP is an exception, not the norm. For some systems, yes, they might think this when like Jerry fronts. Hi guys, I am Alter B and I have not fronted since July 1st. My favorite color is green, and today, just now, I got back. No, that is genuinely some people's experience. But that is only one. What is described a lot in clinical literature is people just being unsure, especially before they've had like extensive therapy focused on the disorder. You might not know who's fronting. You might not know until afterward. Sometimes you just know something feels off. Sometimes it's like, I lost time. So with the way the disorder is often treated online, you will get comments asking like, who's fronting right now? Can I meet your persecutor? Is your persecutor gonna hurt me? Some people with DID might be happy to share that information with you. Others will be like, huh? For some people with DID, Asking who's fronting can be a really personal question. Some might not know, and some don't want to answer. Some people are like, this is a lot of pressure for me to figure it out just to satisfy someone else's curiosity. Because I personally just have trouble even knowing how I feel. You know, it's like, are you having fun? And it's like, yeah. Am I having fun? No, I'm kind of sad right now. I just realized that I've been faking it this whole time. Have I been faking it? Yeah, that's a lot. Some clinicians will encourage people to recognize and understand their different parts because it is helpful in therapy. But others say putting this emphasis on labels can actually increase distress. Others will be like, okay, so are you encouraging me to think of every part as completely separate with like rigid boundaries? At the end of the day, I'd just say, I don't know, if you know someone with DID or your friend tells you that they just got diagnosed, ask. I don't know, or just say like, let me know what you would be most comfortable for you. I actually found this YouTuber, Evapedia, who covered this same topic. And she basically goes into detail about how they turned one of their OCs into an alter.
And it is on this YouTube channel where we can see something very interesting that will later affect the topic of their alters quite a bit. Since there is a very important video on this YouTube channel where Skylar appears doing makeup as an elf, explaining that it is the original character, explaining, or yes, or in case you don't know, if you don't know what this refers to, it's like a character you've created yourself, which is original to a fiction you've created yourself. I mean, it's basically a character you create yourself, basically, so you understand it.
Hi guys. So, this is a makeup video. I'm gonna get into my elf OC, original character, if you don't know what OC means. So, yeah.
At that moment, they never mentioned having a DID diagnosis. However, sometime later, that same exact design, copied as is, was presented on their TikTok account as a real medical alter named Dino, a supposed 115-year-old elf trapped in the body of a minor. It is literally the same character that years later they would say is an alter. They would say.
So, alters were specifically created to help you survive severe and repeated trauma. Basically, your brain was like, I need this in order to survive. More or less, definitely. And I don't think I'd go as far as to say people with DID can choose what alters they want, because then I know I'd just be like, damn, I can't believe I didn't get the alter who's good at math or something like that. Like, okay, one thing that did catch me is how mapped out everything in their system is. They all put their names and their face claims inside the notes app. All like, the gang's all here. They appear to be an overtly presenting person with DID, which off the bat, if you didn't know, depending on the study, around 5 to 6% of people with DID present overtly. A person with covert DID, for example, might have switches that are less obvious. From the outside perspective, they might appear to be like this singular, consistent individual. That's why people are like,
DID is fake. I've never met a person with DID before.
It's like, you might have. It's not like they wear name tags. I have DID. DID exists. Whereas overt DID, the Care Bear Collective, might have more noticeable differences between parts. They might have more distinct changes in behaviors or mannerisms, preferences. So from the outside perspective, given that they're not masking, you might be able to tell a more obvious difference between alters. So I don't want to be dismissive and say like that the Care Bear Collective's experiences are just impossible, faker. But statistically, they are at least rare, more rare. Also, my question is, they are 1 year older than me. Meaning, whenever they started making videos about DID, they must have been around 19 through 21 years of age. This just basically makes me wonder, did they always know that they had alters? So, okay, let's say maybe a therapist was to suggest to them, like, maybe what they're experiencing is some kind of dissociative disorder. Suddenly, all the alters want to just make themselves known. Either that, or they had just always known that they've had DID. I mean, like, Okay, it's just that the most common age to get diagnosed with DID is 30 to 35. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not gonna take this from you, that you cannot be diagnosed with DID like in your late teens, but it is a very common experience to not really know what's going on or what you're experiencing until later, or after years of symptoms and therapy. Cause I always thought like, how are you gonna not know you have DID? Like, don't you realize like, oh, last time I looked at the clock, it was 7 a.m. and now it's 9 p.m. and I don't remember anything. Some people with DID can have, instead of like completely blackouts, they have something called grayouts where you'll remember kind of like parts of it. Almost like when sometimes you're driving home and you can't really remember like everything, but you know that you did drive home, kind of like that. Dissociative amnesia for some people is actually designed to be inconspicuous. I'm sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because that's such a random word choice. Because why would a child develop DID? It's thought of as a way of a child's brain compartmentalizing traumatic experiences. So yeah, not all parts might be super, super excited to be like, all right, let's all get to know each other. Let's go around the circle and introduce ourselves. Some parts might not want to make themselves known for so many reasons. For example, if they hold traumatic memories, they might not want to come forward as to leak those memories to the others. Some parts might not trust the others, and some don't even know that they have DID. So for them to all come forward and document themselves in the Notes app within a short amount of time, without any emotional flooding, like, let me know if you have DID or OSDD, if this is plausible. So actually there is a video I found where they talk about the age they realized that they are a system.
Traverse Collective here. We are Sil, Wes, and Skylar. We are Sil, Wes, and Skylar. That's who we are right now. Today's question is, what age did you discover you were a system? I believe that we were 14 when we discovered that we were a system, or discovered what a system meant anyways. And then when we were 23, we got diagnosed.
I don't know. Let me know if you have DID, what your experiences are. Like, I know it's not in every case as though you're like shocked when you realize you have DID. It's like, no, like actually now that you mention it, it kind of makes sense. Symptoms of DID, at least like dissociation, stuff like that, start in childhood, and obviously the splits. Even here, it's not like they were like, and then I realized like I could count my 17 alters. I knew their birthdays and their different aesthetics and their different colors and backstories. No, they're describing confusing childhood experiences, which at the very least is, I mean, some people can be quite certain that a dissociative disorder might be what they're experiencing, but generally you would want to go in for a diagnosis for literally anything with an open mind instead of saying, diagnose me with DID. If not, then I'm just gonna seek it somewhere else. I mean, they do seem kind of certain after even self-identifying. Basically, they're talking about their internal experience as though there is no like uncertainty whatsoever. I saw someone in their comment section saying something like, I hate it when my alters play music in the headspace. And I'm like, how do you know that's not like an earworm? Like, people without DID also get songs stuck in their head. Genuine question though, maybe there's a way to tell the difference. So let's check out another one of their TikToks in order to cure their vibe.
Every system has that one little that always fronts at the most inconvenient time. The one who should be a mess but has it together. The one who needs to stop flirting with everyone in the system. The one that needs to stop flirting with everyone outside the system. The shiny. The overtired parental figure. Camp counselor. The one who does not eat. The good child. And finally, the one with the villain-style tragic backstory.
Are we allowed to make memes about our disorders? Obviously, I'm not gonna gatekeep that. So I understand like, oh, well, this one's the flirty one, and this one is the chaotic one, and this is the responsible parent and the tragic villain. And it's like, Yeah, but this just comes off as very like funny, and it's just like, oh, this is just an easy little quick fun TikTok to make. And who knows, maybe can you relate to it? Let me know. Like, is this like, oh my god, that's so funny, my protector's just like that. I don't want to take that from people with DID. The downside is though, the people without DID might start taking it as though like these are an ensemble of cast of fictional characters rather than a disorder that involves dissociation, obviously trauma, memory disruption, identity fragmentation, but it doesn't mean they're faking. I think this is a meme. Yep. That someone is using to simplify a very complicated internal experience. Which, here's another interesting thing, is if I saw someone posting stuff like their alter intros, their fun alter personality quizzes, the guess which alter's fronting, it makes you wonder, are we blaming the people with DID for what is a social media trope and pressure? It's like, oh, well, all these people online are getting so much attention and love for their presentation that is just more theatrical. But then of course it is your responsibility to not help the stigma and glamorization of your disorder.
Every system has the one who only fronts for food and snacks, the one who has an immaculate taste in music, the one who absolutely despises the body, the one who's just happy to be here. The one who barks at fake claims.
I mean, yeah, again, I don't think that this is like watering down or dumbing down the disorder. Obviously, alters exist for more than to bark at fake claimers. But can someone explain this to me? Why do so many people with DID online emphasize so much like the identity? You know, instead of dissociative identity disorder, it's forget dissociative, identity disorder. Like, yeah, you should be allowed to have fun and joke about your disorder, but lest we forget, like, they don't really post a lot at all about amnesia or dissociation or PTSD symptoms or difficulty functioning. Now, is that their responsibility? I don't think so. Also, it's personal, but I'm thinking about that one guy who posts about his ADHD in like a comic relief kind of way.
Why is the chain there? And why is it coloured in? This is a nice walk. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Man, I wonder what this guy thinks of me. Doing? I'll do the little ninja. Man, I'm tired. This is so cool. Rockers in there. Then he starts fighting with my rockers and ninja. Man, I'm glad no one else is here. Okay. Okay, why am I acting like this? What am I gonna do after? I look like a dick right now.
And watching it like with ADHD, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is so relatable. And this really sucks to live with sometimes. You kind of get that from it rather than just like, oh, ADHD is just butterflies and sunshine and I'm so quirky. At this part, I think they're discussing the fear of alters fusing, which basically means two alters becoming one. So I'm assuming when they're talking about integrating, I think they're referring to integration, but they confused it with fusion. Calling all systems, is it possible to stop alters from integrating? Please help, Dino and Noah are on the verge of integrating. If someone hurts Dino again, he's gonna be gone for good this time. I kinda need the two separate protectors. I don't know what's gonna happen, I want this to stop. Unwanted alters co-fronting and causing problems. Guys, someone help. Sometimes for a plethora of reasons when you have DID or OSDD, something called fusion can occur. Now, I do want to be fair here because I completely understand why someone with DID would be afraid of fusion. If you've experienced parts as distinct individuals for years, I understand how that changing would be like, first, like, terrifying. Some people grieve it, others say it's kind of melancholic because like they miss them, but they know that this means that they are having better communication and potentially healing from trauma. So there'll be less amnesia, fewer dissociative barriers, and that could mean that you are having progress in treatment. So I get it. That Care Bear was afraid. But why, pray tell, are we presenting alter fusion like this to thousands of people on TikTok? Because this is giving Fusion means my alter is going to die and disappear forever. Stable fusion is usually considered a positive therapeutic outcome because it means less dissociation and better communication with parts, not the loss of a person. So like the memories and experiences that you have with that alter are like, they're still there. So I don't know, it just rubs some people the wrong way when people treat fusion like it's the emotional equivalent of like killing off a main character. Like imagine you're going through therapy and you've seen these TikToks and all of a sudden your therapist is like, I think you're well on your way to integration and fusion, and you'd be like, what? I don't want to do that. So yeah, this brings me to a theme I've seen throughout this entire rabbit hole. A lot of these videos are not really discussing DID in the way it's most commonly talked about in treatments. It almost seems like they're showing a version that is most compelling for content. Okay, no, I seriously can't take this away from them or anyone with DID. Even though DID is recognized in the DSM-5, some professionals still question the disorder. Just when I first clicked on this video, I was ready for them to start saying things like, oh, here's the stigma that I experience. Let me see you switch. Who's fronting right now? Can I meet your persecutor? But then I realized that, oh, okay, so those questions probably wouldn't even really seem weird to them because they're in an online space in which questions like that are just completely normalized. Like if your only experience with DID comes from social media, it's easy, really easy to start thinking that every single person with DID can identify who is fronting on command, switch on camera, introduce their alters, and they would yet again turn the page. They started working at Mary Brown Chicken, which if you're in Canada, let me know how that is. They also said that they're going to start an anger management program and they're getting back on medication. Which no, like that's definitely a good thing. Some people just were a little weirded out by the timing. Like these updates came immediately after this mass wave of criticism. So naturally people were like, okay, love it. Hold on a second. Is this genuine growth? Or is this your PR strategic image management? Around this time, Skylar posted a New Year's kind of thing, being like, new year, new me. I am moving forward this year, not going back. Any drama or misunderstandings from the past? It's in the past. We're all adults here. We move on. And like, yeah, I get how that wasn't like great. Like, why are we chalking everything up to just being like, drama, misunderstandings? Like, okay, let's try this. Let's engage with the specific concerns that have been brought up. Doesn't everyone wish that they could just have a factory reset button whenever they do anything wrong? I mean, you still have to live with the consequences of your choices, but you can do better. I mean, at the time, and even now, they have age play videos up with their DID videos. So naturally people are like, hey, I have a question. Isn't the controversy not even resolved though?
Hi guys. So, wow, I can't believe I have to fucking make another video about this. I have found a second video about me on YouTube. Wow, I'm so popular. Yeah. So I find it absolutely fucking hilarious that all they use is videos from 2021.
Wait, like, why does that matter though? Like, I do think that it's good context that they have changed and that this was a while ago. I don't know, the original actions were still original actions, like they were public.
Wow. It is 2026, buddy. Things have changed. I am no longer part of the community. I have switched over to solely 100% safe for work age regression.
Wait, hold on. Is this not just kind of an admission to something? Like, at the very least, irresponsibly mixing age regression and age play, which they should know as a part of the DID community is like a huge no-no.
The whole faking dissociative identity disorder. Let me tell you, it is not fun to have this disorder. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's nothing like that. No. Why would I fake that for this many years?
But the thing is, I'm not even fake claiming here. I get that others have, but I'm not a doctor, and I don't know. I have seen people who claimed to have DID, and it's this very glamorized, TikTokified version of DID. And then they either do one of two things. One, drop off the face of the internet, or two, say, I just don't really want to talk about my DID anymore. But actually, I'd say someone can fake something for so long for like a plethora of reasons. Like, attention, validation, identity, community, etc., etc. That's like someone asking like, what's your favorite hobby? Why do you like drawing so much? Like, you've been doing it for years. It's like, I don't know, it brings me some kind of happy hormones. I feel rewarded doing it.
Yeah. Think about that. Why would I do that for so fucking long? You think people have the energy to fake something for years on end? Yeah, okay.
I mean, also though, like, we've seen Nan do it, if you know, you know, in person even, for years. So I imagine it can be done and even refined after all these years on TikTok. But honestly, this is dumb. I'm not gonna try to poke every single hole in their arguments because at the end of the day, there is no way for them to, like, prove to us that they have DID other than if we could get on call with their therapist or they show us their diagnostic paperwork, which I think would require doxing themselves, so I don't know if that's something you'd want to do. So slow claps, I appreciate them for the effort of trying to debunk it.
And again, with the using things from 2021, obviously nobody's seen the videos that I've said that in 2023, I was officially diagnosed by a psychiatrist. Wow. Honestly, this is fucking ridiculous.
I just don't feel like it is extremely inappropriate for someone to be upset about you blurring the lines between DID and age and creating a space open to minors while posting ambiguously like adult themed content. Should these creators wrap a little bow on something that is so incredibly damaging and just be like, I know that was really awful, but it's like they're doing better now.
Why are people still coming after me for things that happened 5 motherfucking years ago? Get a life.
You got me there. What you did was still wrong though, but this is looking like we're appealing to time here. Personally, if somebody hurt me and I brought it up and they were like, dude, what the hell? Why are you still upset about that? It's been 5 years. I'd be big sad. Time does not heal all wounds.
The fuck is like up with just picking somebody out of the crowd just to be like, hey, you're special. You're like so special. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thanks for the amazing day that made my day. I just don't fucking understand why this is still going on. I would understand if things were still the same to this day.
I don't know, dude. I feel like owning it is the move here. I'll even write it for you here. I'm genuinely sorry for all of the stigma and confusion. I should have done better, and I am just so disappointed in myself. I am going to, from now on, do everything in my power to just ensure it does not happen again. Instead of like, well, why are we still dwelling on this, dude? Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, some of the things that I did in the past was different. But it was the content that my viewers wanted.
Yeah, well, I don't think Paul, age 54, had your best interest in mind. Why does it seem like your audience is taking agency away from you? It's just that my viewers caught me on my yes man day, like, I don't say no to anyone on Tuesdays. Even if your viewers are begging, please, you can still say no. I do it all the time. My viewers hate me for it.
If you haven't fucking noticed, quite a lot of my content has changed over the years. I have changed over the years. This is out of hand. This is ridiculous. Enough is enough.
But a lot of the stuff is still up even today. So like, I don't want to make any assumptions. But to me, it almost feels like they don't understand what they did was wrong. Because their most viewed TikToks are this and they're still up.
Like, move the fuck on with your goddamn lives. You want to pick on me so fucking badly? I don't understand why. Probably because whoever's behind all these accusations and whatever is probably somebody that is from my past.
No, like, this is just a genuine, serious question. Did they watch the videos? Because I'll admit, like, I think a lot of the creators who covered this are AI channels. So they were just saying some really weird stuff sometimes. But even if we say, you know what, this is somebody from their past, it's like, but you still did the bad stuff. There's so much externalization of responsibility rather than just, you know what, fully owning the situation.
Somebody that it didn't work out with or something like that. I don't fucking know. Quite obviously, it's somebody who used to know me years ago.
Right hand to God, I did not date them, nor have I ever known them.
If you're that obsessed with me, just come and ask me for a fucking autograph. Like, stop trying to fuck my life over. Because things have changed. A lot. The past is in the past. Get over it. Honestly.
Why are you allowed to speculate about me and I'm not allowed to speculate about you? That feels unfair. Here's my groundbreaking advice. This is gonna blow your mind. Don't spend most of your response arguing that people should stop talking about your past. Spend most of it explaining what you've learned from it. Remember when you were like, you guys need to move on? Maybe try this, okay. I understand why people were uncomfortable with the content that I made. Because here's the huge thing. Even if you did not intend to cause harm, you can still acknowledge the impact. And somebody commented on this. That's straight up bullying. Holy shit, I'm sorry. Which I'm like, okay. I mean, I personally wouldn't characterize it as bullying, but I understand how it's nuanced. Because criticism, even when it's very harsh criticism, is not automatically bullying. The thing is, though, we just would have different opinions there. Are people hanging on to 5-year-old drama? Maybe, but no one, to my knowledge, has, I mean, I'm sure some people have because people suck, but like creators insulted them as a person or mocked their appearance or their identity or like encouraged harassment. So yeah, ultimately, this is why I made this video, because Skylar is but one creator. But the internet has this wonderful talent of taking these mental health conditions, including DID, and flattening them into entertainment or adding to stigma or even exploiting that community. I feel like every mental health condition goes through this weird cycle online where it's like, first of all, let's talk about awareness. And then we're turning it into an aesthetic and our entire identity. And that's just my thing, is people who live with DID already have enough skepticism. We don't need people to be mentally categorizing them as the same as age. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. I have in the past seen people try to mix age regression and age play together, and it's completely inappropriate. Anyways, if you're watching this, congratulations, you made it to the end of this very long rabbit hole. If you would not mind giving the video a thumbs up and subscribe, I would appreciate it so very much. I appreciate you and every single one of my members. I love you guys, and peace out.